Hello, Bob Van Rossum with MarketPro. As an executive search firm, we do this because we want to help our clients find top talent, and we like to help people grow their career. And one of the things that's always challenging for me is when we see a really smart person who has made mistakes along the way that have sabotaged their career and held them back from where they could be, or more importantly, where they want to be. And one of those things that really holds people back is job hopping. And it's problematic now because of COVID and what happened during 2020, 2021. So COVID happened and a lot of people were impacted from a job perspective, or a lot of people chose to change jobs during that time. And it was almost like a free pass if you had a short stint on your resume during that time. And not even almost, it was a free pass, right? No one was really too worried about that because of everything else that was going on in the world. But the reality is that all changes. And as we sit here today in October of 2025, it's changed, right? Organizations are going back to the office largely, or they're hybrid. Fewer and fewer organizations are still fully remote. And we are in a more normalized business environment post-COVID. And now, as organizations look at candidates and they consider candidates for roles that, like the ones we work on, which is chief marketing officer and other director and above level marketing, digital, e-com, product, brand roles, right? You're not, if you have a short stint on your resume from COVID, it's just a short stint. If you have one earlier in your career, now you've got two. You're no longer getting a free pass due to COVID. And so if that's happened to you, right, you can't go back and undo it, but you can acknowledge it and understand it probably needs to change the way you manage your career going forward, right? So how do we look at it? And how do most executive search firms look at career progression, job hoppiness, and what that means for you as a candidate who we may or may not be able to present to our client as someone who's successful? Right? So it changes based on industry. It changes based on who our client is in that industry. But at a minimum, so basically the standard could be higher than this. At a minimum, we want to see candidates that have spent at least 3 years in every organization, and we give you one mistake. So that means that you've had time within those 3 years to really add value, to show that you've given the organization a big return on the investment that they've made in you. And along the way, you should definitely have received promotions multiple promotions from the organizations you worked for. We don't want to see a resume where every time you've moved up was because you changed jobs, right? So that's the basic minimum requirement. 3 years in each role. Within some of those organizations, you receive promotions, and we give you one free pass. Okay, so what happened during COVID, right? You kind of got a COVID free pass. And now those free passes are done. So if you have a short stint on your resume from 2020, 2021, 2022, no one is anymore looking at that and thinking, hey, this was COVID, so probably something happened there that was outside of their control. It's just another short stint. And you need to be aware of that if that's you. As you're going forward and managing your career, you really need to look at where am I now? What's the value that I'm adding to the organization? What's the impact that I'm providing for them to help them grow, right? What promotion am I looking at inside this organization? Or what do I need to do to get a promotion inside this organization? And make sure that where you are now, the worst thing that happened to you is you had a short stint during COVID and you follow that up right behind it with the second one. And even if that means you're leaving that second one to go to a better opportunity or a perceived better opportunity, that may not be a problem next year, but in 5 years, it's going to come back to be a problem when you're now looking for a job again. So just be aware of that as a candidate, that if that's you, plan accordingly as you go forward.